कविं कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तमम् ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणस्पत आनः शृण्वन्नोतिभिः सीदसादनम् प्रणो देवी सरस्वती वाजेभिर्वाजिनीवती धीनामभित्रयवतु गणेशाय नमः सरस्वत्यै नमः श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ओम्।
Om Shri Sairam. Pranams to the divine lotus feet of our dearest Bhagwan. Respected elders and my dear brothers and sisters, a loving Sairam to each one of you. I am Rati Venkat, a member of the organizing team of the Sri Sathya Sai National Leadership Program for Self-Transformation. We welcome you this evening to a very special heart-to-heart session with Sri Nimesh Pandya, the All India President, Sri Sathya Sai Seva Organizations, India. We will now have an audio-visual presentation. Over to the IDT.
You are full of compassion, you are full of love and a complete conscious level that is of an amazing nature. Bhagwan used to always say that knowledge must be skilled. But that's not enough. When knowledge is skilled, there must be poise, there must be balance. Because when knowledge is skilled with balance, then comes the beautiful factor of insight, and that insight becomes resplendent in your character, in your nature.
Like the clear waters of the Mother Ganga, flowing through hilly tracts of the Himalayas, undisturbed and unperturbed by her surroundings, meandering to her destination, the mighty ocean, have the great pleasure of bringing forth this leader of leaders who too wades through the concrete jungle of life, steadfast as a sthit prajna, undisturbed and unperturbed, to reach that inherent divinity, that is, our divine Satya Sai. You listen to him, ye dil mange more. You work with him, ye dimag kahega, kya baat, kya baat, kya baat. With that aura of duty in him, filled with dedication and devotion. Be it for a child or an elderly, he is the most approachable, for he is a bhai for one and all, eloquent in his profession, which puts many to shame. When he rises up to speak, be it in a courtroom or in a gathering, filled with exuberance and gaiety, one is lost in his words, a true personification of simplicity and honesty. His opponents fear him when he is on a warpath, reminds one and all of the Maratha king on his horseback, yet humble and witty to the amusement of one and all. A leader of India in the path of spirituality and seva, the divinely guided, the approachable leader. Lakhs of volunteers tote him with love and gratitude. Be it north or south, east or west, they can vouch that he is the best, for giving them all an opportunity to lead their lives in the path of Sai. He ignites sparks of love with the divinely scripted life, produced and directed by the Eternal One. Please put your hands together for the divinely guided the approachable leader, Shri Nimesh Pandya, alias Nimesh Bhai, our All India President, Shri Sathya Sai Seva Organization, presenting this episode to all of you. Heart to Heart with AIP, Shri Nimesh Bhai, the man who leads India.
Thank you so much for that lovely video. Nimesh Uncle, as most of us lovingly call him, is the Vice Chairman of the Sri Sathya Sai Global Council, Prashant Nilayam, the Trustee of the Sri Sathya Sai Trust, Maharashtra, the Chairman of the National Council of the Sri Sathya Sai Schools in India, and also the Chairman of the Sri Sathya Sai National Leadership Program for Self-Transformation. A prolific speaker on any given topic, a dramatist par excellence. He has directed several value-based ballets and dramas with children and youth based on value education and character formation. A man adorning multiple hats, an epitome of leadership, a sevak at heart. It's an honor to have you amongst us, Uncle. Over to you. Sairam.
Sairam, Radhi, thank you very much. It's been a great pleasure, and it really took me back in nostalgia looking at this video. And the first thing that comes across very strong is that tremendous time has passed from the pictures and the events that have happened in the earlier years to where we are right now. So I think that's a great reminder to all of us that time and tide wait for no man. And I think that is the biggest lesson that all of us have to learn. Because the one who does not respect time does not respect life. And if time is God and God is time, then if you do not respect time, then you do not respect God. And God, I mean the ultimate power that energizes the entire world. And therefore, in my Bombay language, you cannot take a panga with time. Okay, you have to be very respectful and ensure that you utilize every second and every moment of our life. Dear brothers and sisters, thank you very much for this lovely video. Well, I don't think if I can deserve everything that is said in that video, because I do believe that we are all puppets in the hands of the Divine Master. And each one of us has a very specific role to perform in life. And each one of our lives are determined and shaped by the Divine Master. And probably, as he always said, that what he expects out of us is to live our roles with integrity, honesty, sincerity, and commitment. Whatever we may be a leader, we may be a film star, we may be a doctor, we may be a student, we may be an engineer, whatever be our role in life, all these roles are specified for each one of us. You can never say that one role is better than the other, or this one is not as good as that one. Because every role has its own importance in the divine drama that the Master has unfolded. I am definitely reminded of a very small story of a young boy who was a part of a drama, and the parents asked him, "What is your role, son?" So that he told him, "I have a very, very important role to perform on the drama on the stage, Mama." So Mama says, "What is your role?" He says, "No, every time the king smiles and says something good, I have to stand in the corner and keep on clapping. And that clapping role of mine is very important," my teacher said, "because that adds value to the whole drama in the overall ambience." So really speaking, it is not what you and I do alone on our own, but whatever we contribute by doing our role with sincerity and integrity, the overall drama of Swami becomes beautiful and fantastic. And the more we do our role sincerely, whichever role we may have a role of laughing, we may have a role of crying, we may have a role of a poor man, a rich man, or a very good, intelligent chap, or a duffer. Every role has its own beauty. And at the end of all this drama, brothers and sisters, I have realized, and Swami has reminded us all the time, it is not the nature of your role or what your achievement is, but the actor does the role perfectly only to please the director. Because at the end of the drama, when the curtains fall down, Every actor who goes back to the director has an expectation, has an anticipation that is my director going to tell me that I've done my role well? Fine. If there is an appreciation of the role, then there is satisfaction that you've done your job best and you added value to the entire drama. I think this is the story of life. If this perception and this vision is taken into account, brothers and sisters, and enthusiasm and commitment is added to this, I think life is a very beautiful thing to live. Whether it is birth or death, exit, both are not in our hand. The day you were born and I was born, I don't think we had planned it that way. It wasn't our own volition. And the day we go also is not going to be our volition. See, what is in our volition is only this period between birth and death. And that's very important from Swami's perspective. I think it was Mark Twain who said once that there are only two important days in the life of a man. Only two. One is when you are born, because you got the opportunity of becoming. And the second is when you realize the purpose of. These are the only two important days in the life of man. All the other days have no meaning. They're all practices. They're all opportunities to practice. But the two crown jewels are that you were born as a human being, and somewhere down the line you realize the purpose and goal of it. This is very important. And I'm extremely happy to be a part of a national leadership program with all my lovely faculty and the management team, the young people who run this program. And now it's also happening in Hindi. जो हमारे हिंदी के भाई बहन है जो आज हमसे जुड़े हुए हैं, शायद वो अंग्रेजी में मेरी बात जरूर समझ पाएंगे कि ये एक बहुत ही महत्वपूर्ण बात है कि today we have got an opportunity at this age, all of you, 300, 400, 500 of all my brothers, young brothers and sisters, never underestimate this opportunity you've got at this point of time. Because this can really shape your life for the future. This can really give you the skill set of utilizing every moment of your life with excellence, with commitment, with integrity. Because at the end of the day, you want satisfaction, you want joy. You want to be happy that you've done the job well. And that can happen only with honesty and integrity, with complete faithful effort in every direction, whether it is education, whether it is taking care of the health, whether it is controlling the mind or mastering the mind, or whether developing the skill set that at every moment of our life to take the right decision. Brothers and sisters, you're all probably in the age group of 17, 18, 19, 20, 25, in a very, very young and beautiful time. This is an age when God also helps you. He makes time go slow as if to understand. Or it goes very fast, sorry to say. It goes, you don't realize you're young and suddenly you become old. But the worst part is when you become old, time becomes very, very slow. And that's not because time has any speed, but the ability of the human system, the amount of care that you've taken for your physical body, the amount of input that you've taken to control your mind, the amount of skill sets that you've achieved to tap on your inner source, on your inner energy, that is the determining factor. What I liked most about Bhavanthu was that he reminded me very early in life that mastering the mind is a very difficult job. I don't claim that I've still mastered my mind, but the consciousness and the effort in this direction has paid dividends. Because at many times, in difficult occasions, when the mind says something and the hand wants to act, this ability to pause and ask that Swami within yourself, should I do this or not? This practice, developing this skill set, will always keep you on the right track, will always keep you happy. And I think, and successful too, because happiness and success go together. Therefore, this part of enabling yourself and getting in touch with your own inner energy, because at the end of the day, when you say that the cosmic energy, we are a spark of that cosmic energy, then the entire knowledge of the cosmic energy, the entire strength of the cosmic energy, there is a spark within us. And will be most foolish, will be most stupid not to develop the skill set of utilizing this power within us. Putting this power which is signified by God, Swami, Satyasai, whatever you call it. But this spark has the capacity to do all the work for you. But for that, we have to master the mind, conquer it. Now, to be able to conquer the mind, you must have a healthy body. Therefore, it's a big mix together. Take care of the body, body takes care of the mind. Take care of the mind takes care of the consciousness. And if you take care of the consciousness, he is there guiding us. Since we started with the analogy of the drama, let me give an analogy for this consciousness also. In the yesteryears on the theatre, when all the drama is going on, there are two boxes on the stage, which nobody can see. But they were little, just 1.5 foot or half foot boxes they are, behind which, below the stage, there used to be somebody called a prompter. Okay. The prompter, this job was that every time the actor is on the stage and he is acting, and if he forgets his line or does not know what to do, the prompter from the prompting box would tell him, okay, this is your line, move that way, move the same. And this guidance used to help the actor to perform very well, even if he forgets in between something. Swami also is like that. Swami inside our heart is the prompter, the divine prompter. He tells us what to do every time, every moment, every time. But the idea is that we should be, while we are on the stage acting, we must be able to be conscious of the fact that there is a prompter within. And if I'm going wrong, let me just go back and ensure. Then here, because the prompter is constantly talking, it's only that the actor has to hear that prompting so that he does not make a mistake in his acting on the stage. I'm sure this makes sense, because to me it made great sense. That why would I be on the stage without my master prompting me from within? And every time that I forget a dialogue, I forget an action, I forget a movement, I would rather depend on him. The bane of today, brothers and sisters, that we are all outward. And this is an issue with all young men and women. Because we want to achieve, we want things, we want to gather things. No harm. I always say, young men and women must achieve great things in life. You must achieve excellence in career, in health, in mental living, your excellence in your relationship with people. Get married, children, family, all this is valid. Earning money is not a problem. Swami used to tell me, when I was young, I was very keen to become a billionaire very fast. And Swami used to tell me, Dekho, don't run after money. Money is like a shoe. If your size is 7, you can only be happy wearing the shoe size 7. If it is 8, you will trip and fall. If it is 6, it will hurt you. Therefore, money also like that. If you have less, you will be in trouble. If you have more than what you need, still you will be in trouble. So ensure that your desires are such that you match your desires with your income. Because happiness is a source. People make the mistake. People think if I have $2 billion in my account, I'm a happy person. No, you can't be happy. What people think, no, I'm not happy because I don't have even 10 rupees in my pocket. Again, that's a problem. The human tenacity to be happy is not dependent upon external factors. The human tenacity to be happy and to be joyous, to be enthusiastic, depends only and only on this friendship of the God within us. I'll give an example. Even after I became a lawyer, I was very fond of cars. I had maybe probably the best cars that one can imagine in my times. I had a Mercedes, I had a BMW, I had the best cars. But one day it struck me from within that what a funny chap I am. A beautiful Mercedes car. I sit inside the car. Now, when I sit inside the car, the outer beauty of Mercedes is not seen by me. In fact, I have paid for the Mercedes. I am sitting inside, but the whole world is enjoying the Mercedes which I am driving. And I can't do that. So I said, I'm spending so much money. I'm sitting in the car. Now, whether you sit inside the cushion covers of a Mercedes or you sit inside the cushion covers of a small Maruti, the impact and the experience is the same. The movement is the same from A point to B point. It's just that I want to show the world that I have a Mercedes, and I want others to enjoy that I have a Mercedes, and I want others to be jealous about me that I have a Mercedes. Is this the right thing to do? Would I spend lakhs of rupees to buy a Mercedes just to make other people jealous or to make other people happy and not me? I realized that sitting in the comfortable car, which I sold my Mercedes, I sold my BMW. I drive a nice, cute little car now, which takes me from one place to another place. And I have no tension. Even if it gets a little scratch or my driver goes over a bump, I'm not worried. I'm still happy. Imagine the Mercedes, I was tense. Every time somebody came close to my Mercedes, I had BP going above God. Because the moment something happens to a Mercedes in the garage, it costs so much money to touch even a small thing. A small car, nobody will touch me. Nobody will scratch me also. Because they're all running a small car, Janet. And I am happy, I have no tension. It's a matter of perception. If you depend upon your happiness and your joy on something which is external, then you'll always be fluctuating. You'll be subject to that. If the Mercedes moves at beautifully on the highway, you enjoy. But if somebody taps the Mercedes or goes over a speed breaker and something rattles, then your heart sinks. That is not happiness. There is no consistency. Brothers and sisters, Swami wants us to have consistent happiness, consistent balance. Because you see, I was young like you. I'm now 70. Maybe God knows how many more years are left. But at the end of the day, what am I going to take up? I have to only enjoy what I have right here. I can't take anything up. And to enjoy what I have here, to acquire that, I am using my senses and going mad, crazy if I don't get it. And after getting all that, I'm not. Think about it. I think very necessary. This Sri Sathya Sai National Leadership Program is a lovely program to urge you to think in this direction, to master your mind. This course is a leadership course to master yourself. Lead yourself. It's lead kindly life. It's a prayer to Swami within yourself. Swami, lead kindly life. Lead me. Help me to become a leader of myself. I think that is the underlying essence. Because in today's world, everybody wants to be a leader to control somebody else. As an All India president, I can be miserable if I try to control everybody in the country. If somebody does not listen to me, I'll be angry. If somebody says something about me that is not a good president, I'll be depressed. I'll get obnoxious. But as an All India president, if my only goal is to see that I want to make myself available to my master, to see that the divine master's message goes to everybody with honesty, with integrity, and not to expect anything back from them, but live, realize the joy of how Swami is with you all the time. And Swami always says that you have two options. Either you do what you think out of your ego, or let me do things for you. Which can be better, brothers? If you do everything yourself, you're likely to make many mistakes out of everything. You may 50, 60% make a mistake. But if you leave everything to Swami, Swami will never make a mistake. He will always be successful. And he is selfless. He will do everything to give you the joy. He will do and give credit to you. It is much safer to be that way rather than think that everything I am doing and I am taking credit and not giving credit to the real doer. I know this sounds utopian. At your age, probably you'll think, no, I have to work hard. I have to achieve my career. I have to get my degree. I have to do that, for which I must work. I cannot just depend upon God. Yes, I am not saying anything otherwise. I'm saying the same thing. You have to work. You have to utilize your time. And the three most important assets which you have in life today, which if you value and utilize well, brothers and sisters, is nothing looking back in. The first is your clothes, your fancy clothes, your torn sheets, your t-shirts are not your asset. Your phone, your TV, your laptop is not your asset. Your money, your pocket money, or money that you earn is not your asset. The house that you may buy is not your asset. The family that you may raise is not your asset. The money and the jewelry that you may buy is not your asset. The property that you may buy is not your asset. You have only three assets which are yours, which nobody can take it away from. All the other things which I mentioned can go one day. But these three cannot go. You know which is that? It is thoughts, breath, and time. There are so many wealth managers in this country. So many banks will write to you, we are the best wealth manager, please come and join. Invest where I am saying, and you'll earn the money, you become double. But the real wealth management is what God takes care as a wealth manager. And you invest in that thought. Invest in good thoughts. Master the mind. Control your thoughts. Let the thought not dictate your action. You should dictate the thoughts. You should have the power to keep good thoughts and bad thoughts. Those thoughts which give you negative energy, you have to have the power to discard them from your mind. And you must always keep good thoughts. That comes from good company, good reading, good literature. Why do you think people tell you, I regret one thing in my life? I used to be very, very argumentative with my father. And my father used to always tell me that, son, you must read literature. Now, I was going to become a lawyer and say, Dad, what are you going to do with Shakespeare when you're doing law? But he used to tell me that literature is the handmaid of law. I never listened to it. I thought it was a very stupid advice he gave me. But now when I look back in hindsight, when I had this opportunity of speaking so many times, I had the opportunity of expressing my thoughts in a very concise, impactuous, in a very, very effective way, I realized that literature is the greatest gift that you can have to run your life in a beautiful way. You see, saying the same thing in a poetry, the same thing in a little story, the same thing in a little quote, you can convey this straight heart to heart. If you give a lecture like me, which I'm giving you right now, half of you may be sleeping. If I tell you a story, if I tell you a poem, I tell you, and this helped me in my career as a lawyer also. See, in law, when you enter a court, you're not alone. There are 40, 50, 60 lawyers waiting in their queue. There are so many people, clients waiting. It's like a public speech where only the judge and you are talking. In that limited time that you have to convey the essence of your argument to the judge. That's where literature comes. And sometimes by a good quote and a good poem, you win the heart of the judge. And then he's more keen to listen to what you are saying. Okay? So it's a great asset from. Therefore, good thoughts, good reading, good literature, good knowledge is important to manage thoughts. And thoughts are very powerful things. It is said in science that every thought is a speck of energy. And for many of you who have attended school properly, if you take the definition of energy, it says energy is that which has capacity to do work. Imagine so many millions of thoughts in your mind, and every thought is a speck of energy, and every speck of energy has capacity to do work. How much energy we must be wasting? Mental chatter, talking too much, gossiping too much, not focusing on concentration, not meditating, not giving the mind the healthy exercise of meditation, control, job, ability to focus. These are all hallmarks of success. I remember Sachin Tendulkar also mentioned. You see, he may enjoy all the glory just now, but if you go down to his life, in the formative years from the age of 13, 14 to till 20, 25, 30 till he retired from active cricket, he was an epitome of concentration. We never saw a young Sachin Tendulkar going for a party, going for a movie, gossiping around. He was in the next day after day, day after day. He was practicing all that. And all that practice of his life journey, by the time he became 25, 26, 27, he was a world-class hero. Not because he scored so many centuries, but he was consistent, he was persistent, he was focused. In the entire art, there was nothing in front of him but cricket. That was the focus. Modern day Arjuna, let's take the Arjuna of the time. Even when he was to pierce the eye of the fish looking down, what was his concentration? Only the eye of the fish. Now this for the youth of today is a big challenge. The mind is running helter-skelter in so many directions. Who's going to help you to control your? Who's going to help you that while you're reading, your mind should not go off? Who's going to help you that when you're doing a particular project, you have to do it 100%. Your mind should be completely focused to do it perfectly. This ability to focus is the hallmark of success. The next is breath. Breath, brothers and sisters, is really God in us. Today, you and I are alive because We are breathing. If I stop breathing, I'll be declared dead. You'll be declared dead. And the best part about breath is that God gave you birth and me birth with a rhythmic breath. So, this is the big key Bhagwan has given us. To be conscious of having a rhythmic breath throughout the day is a great strength, brothers and sisters. That will save you from so many things. Anxiety will upset your breath. Fear will upset your breath. Jealousy will upset your breath. Anger will upset your breath. And the solution for all this negativity is again rhythmic breath. See, even when you fall sick and the doctor comes with the stethoscope, the first thing he does is, okay, breathe deeply. And Swami also supported. So, now this Soham exercise is not because the Sathya Sai organization has to be a spiritualist or a sadhu. This is the exercise for the mind, for the breath, to see that all the systems of the breath which need oxygen get systematic oxygen through a rhythmic breathing. It's a great solution for problems. Suppose anger. If comes anger, you breathe out. Nobody is angry when there is a rhythmic breath. The moment anger comes, your breath goes to a toss. But if you want to control your anger, learn the skill of breathing regularly. The moment you put your breath in rhythm, you'll be okay. The moment you feel jealous, put your breath in rhythm, you'll be fine. It's a great experiment, brothers and sisters. Swami has given us this fantastic exercise. Practice rhythmic breath. Be conscious that your breath is your real friend. Good rhythmic breath will give you a fresh mind, will free you from anxiety, anxiousness, depression. Everything will vanish by a sadhana of Omkar and rhythmic breath. So, therefore, you will find that the advantages of the platform that the Satsang organization is giving you, and even this is our national leadership program, which urges you again and again, do meditation, do Omkar, do have a rhythmic breath, are very important inputs for day-to-day life. Even in your professional career, even in your married life. Suppose a husband is there, husband and wife are there. When the wife says something, the husband goes with it, which often happens. What happens? It entails an argument, entails 10 days of sorrow with the couple. But if the husband or the wife is a practitioner of Soham, there will be only love and peace. And peace will dissolve the other spouse completely. There will be no arguments and no anxiety, no unnecessarily trouble for 8-7. Imagine what a foolishness it is to spend 7 days of your life on an argument and being upset with another partner. I've seen husband and wife cry when the wife dies and the husband dies. But the same people have fought throughout their lives, not realize what a partnership it can be, and the two could have lived life together with great joy and happiness. But that's not the goal people have. Each one wants to conquer the other. Each one wants to sort of have control over the other. That's not the way of life that's on. And that NLP program is going to draw your attention. Brothers and sisters, the NLP program is not subject. It's not curriculum. These are good thoughts that come, good techniques for good breathing, and great value for time. Time gives you the opportunity to improve yourself and put your improved self to the service of mankind. Because the more you serve selflessly, the better human being you become. Its vision widens up. The horizons open up for you for a larger vision of cosmos and the purpose of life. The second important day in our life, the purpose. That reveals in a composite program of spirituality, education, and service. It will reveal your life. You'll be a better husband, you'll be a better wife, better father, better son, better brother, better employee, better boss. See, today's world's problem, brothers and sisters, are lack of love, lack of unconditional love. Everything has become a give and take, quid pro quo, which is not the way that Swami wants us to do for happiness. If your goal in life is tension, excitement, and that's like the adrenaline rush, like God bless you, do it for as many years as you want. Then one day you collapse. Today we've seen the story of the recent cardiac surgeon in Rajkot. A cardiac surgeon doing very well, doing exercise, but stress, no breathing properly. He died at a heart attack at 41, 42. So now that's our choice, no? What to do, what not. Regulating our life, exercising, yoga, meditation, good eating habits, good thoughts, good company are not sermons that elders give us. These are tools for a successful life. Imagine our parents told us free of charge, and today you want to go for a management course and pay $20,000 to hear the same things. Let's not be so stupid. Let's keep our vision open and learn from our culture and the message of the great saints and put that into practice. Practice is important. You see, I've seen many students get very happy on the convocation, and now also we'll have a convocation in December, in January. Again, you'll be very proud, you'll be very happy, you'll show off your certificate, you'll show off your medals, you do everything. Nobody will come to know. But when you sleep in the night, your Swami, your conscience will tell you, have you really done what you should do? Are you really practicing? Or is just an ego sense of getting the certificate? Just now I heard Brother Gopi telling many of you that you are unintentionally not following instructions of getting on with your right name and your right code on the. Now, why would you not do it? You would not do it for two reasons. One, that you don't care. क्या फर्क पड़ता है ना? Join किया ना? It's okay, you have joined. But having joined, following the discipline is another joy. And third is that you are careless. याद नहीं रहा. Didn't make a note. So what happens? That's another thing. Carelessness. No care attitude, carelessness, and not being aware that why would the organization tell you to do this? Because we'll come to know how many of you have attended in a proper format. Because we love you and we take care of you. We want to ensure that we motivate you to attend every session with great systems. Utilize the time which you've got. You see, at the end of the day, it's not the certificate which I will sign and give you which is important. It is a certificate which your conscience will give you. Your parameters of joy will give you. Your parameters of happiness will give you. If after attending this course and getting a certificate, if you are still an unhappy man, still you don't have enthusiasm, still you have fear, still you have depression, then brothers and sisters, you have wasted your time. Your parents have wasted their time. And we also have wasted time. We want lions to come out of this course. And sharing love is a great opportunity for all of us. And I think that's the focus. This whole focus of this NLP program is to improve yourself. Bhagwan does not want. Bhagwan will be very happy if every day you are a better person than what you used. And that requires sincerity. That requires a great dedication. Therefore, thought, breath, and time are all three very important assets. And the Sathya Sai Seva organization has the perfect mutual fund for you to invest your thought, breath, and time. Perfect. There is no comparison to this mutual fund called the Sri Sathya Sai Seva. It gives you opportunity to invest thoughts and keep your steady breath. There are so many activities, bhajan, nagar sankirtan, jyoti meditation, so many to keep your thought. Satsang, study circle, so many activities. Okay, controlling the mind, meditation. Therefore, you would have realized that one of the first Vahinis which we start this program is the Dhyan Vahini. When Brother Gopi and their team and all your faculty members and we were discussing when this course started, which is the Vahini with which you start with you. And we collectively said that the Dhyan Vahini to practice. Not that the others are not important. They're all very good. In fact, we must go through all of them. But the beginning, the first is the Dhyan Vahini, because unless you control your mind, you can't go and understand all the other ones. Because you need concentration, focus, you need so much. And Swami was always interested. For Swami, a true leader is he who has the capacity to surrender to the master who has the capacity to do the best without expectation, who has the capacity to always be happy, who has the capacity to always give unconditional love, even to the person whom the world says he doesn't like. It's very simple, very easy to achieve. But you should have the urge that in this life, I want to excel. Khana, pina, sona, marna. Swami used to always remind us, this is not the goal of life. Goal of life is to realize your inherent potential. Imagine so much you can do if you are a realized Sri Sathya Sai National Data Project, project outcome. A young man or a young woman who's done this course, who's practiced and steps out, his aura is different. When you walk out in the streets, when you walk within your friends, you walk like a lion, you walk like an elephant. You don't walk like a fox or a cow or a cat or a dog. I mean, people make way for you as they go because they say, here is a man who should be a village. Nobody can disturb you. Nobody can hurt you. Nobody can make you sad because we are a set of lions who are always happy in the realm of our own consciousness. Nobody can disturb us. Nobody can make us sad. It's a skill set that we have. And as being a victim and being punished for this situation is that follow the conscience, irrespective of anything happens. Niti, commitment is important. Like recently in Prashant, I remembered the incident of Lord Rama, which I'd like to repeat again. Lord Rama was about to, he had left the palace after the vows that he gave Mother Kaikeyi. And when Bharat comes back, he's so upset, he's so angry that he carries the entire Ayodhya. All the men, women, people of Ayodhya all go with Bharat to the kutir to convince Rama that you should come back. This is a mistake. Don't do this. We all want you. Our happiness depends upon this action of yours. But as the story goes, brothers and sisters, Rama is a leader with God consciousness, was not wanting to be a popular leader. A popular leader who wants praise and wants to be a goody-goody chap amongst his followers, who do what the people want to do, irrespective whether it is right or wrong. Bharat pleads, Bharat cries. Even Kaikeyi falls. He says, no, Rama, it was my mistake. I made a biggest mistake of my life. Please come back. Forgive all of us. Rama says, no. I have given my word to my father who's home. And I have to fulfill this word. Because a good leader will do what is right. He will never do what is populous or what is popular or is going to make him. Imagine if they take a commitment to have Swami in their heart and do what is right and do what is perfect. You alone can change the world by your example. That is the potential. That is the expectation of Swami out of each one of us. To give this unconditional power to yourself and release the divinity within yourself and always committed to yes. I always give the example of my mentor, Nani Palkhiwala, one of the greatest jurists in the country. And I asked him what is wrong with India. Brothers and sisters, he said, there is nothing wrong with India. India is the greatest country of the world. We have so much water that we can thirst the entire world. We have so much of resources that we will never fall short. We have so much money that people never had. Kubera is with us. With so many people coming to loot India. And after the independence, there's so many scams happening. Despite that, we are talking of growth at 6.5%. We are a bottomless vessel where everything is getting drained out. But still the vessel is growing at 6.5%. Isn't this a miracle? This is India. So I told him, what is the problem? So he says, Nimesh, there is no problem with India. The only problem with India, the only crisis that India faces is character crisis. All our people in India have lost the character of keeping the thought, word, and deed one. The day all of us devise that strength of character to keep our thought, word, and deed one, brothers and sisters, we have achieved everything in the world. We are masters. That's the time when you'll experience what Swami says, you and I are one. And remember, I want you to remember always, you are in a great opportunity today having known Satya Baba. Because Satya Baba is the only avatar who has come on this earth not to make you his follower, not to make you and I his follower. He has come to tell us that I am God, but I have come to tell you that you also are God. I know that I am God. I want you to know that you also. Imagine the valuation. In today's commercial world, we talk of valuation, no? Bhagwan came and put our valuation at the highest amongst the entire cosmos. Man is the highest. Our goal is divine and our value is great. Every time you stand in front of the mirror when you get up in the morning, don't say, I'm bichara, I'm helpless, I can't do this, I can't do that, I can't say that. Say, I will do everything that my master wants, and I'll do it with great confidence. And when you have this confidence, brothers and sisters, even if you make a mistake, God will make it correct. I've seen this also. God will make all your mistakes correct. The famous example of my student, incidentally, it is a great exercise in sadhana. Kamalanji is a triple gold medalist in law and psychology. And I have to struggle 2 years to pass my law degree. But the fact is that faith and surrender to Swami can put you on a pedestal, even if you don't deserve. Because he has the power. You've surrendered to him. You are at his lotus feet. So while you do all that is to be done in terms of action, don't worry about the result. Leave it to him. He will always do what is good for you. Do your best. Not all gold medalists have succeeded in the world, brothers and sisters. Not all 99 and 95% people have succeeded in life. People have succeeded out of integrity, out of great. It is not the marks, it is the remarks which are important. Therefore, be balanced. Don't go crazy about anything to be achieved in that sense. Excellence is to be achieved in the performance, in the knowledge. As it was shown in the earlier video, I had heard this from Swami. Knowledge, skill, and you have to be steady and then develop the insight. It is that human being who, after knowledge, after practice, after being steady, and who realizes the insight of what we are doing, he succeeds. Therefore, it's very important to follow this strategy which Swami is giving to us. Knowledge, skill, practice, and insight is very, very important. So I think today what motivates me to talk to you today is that I want you to not sleep today, brother. Don't, after this program, don't sleep. Sit quietly in your houses in corner for as long as you can keep your eyes awake. Ponder over these things. Make those commitments of keeping a healthy body, healthy mind, and entertaining every experience to internalize and offer. Test it. You will succeed. Do your effort and leave it happen. Everything. God will never ditch you. But develop that faith, that association, and take care of the only three assets you have: your thought, breath, and your time. Utilize this well. You come smiling in this crying probably in this world, you will definitely go smiling, because Swami will hold your hand and take you. Like Sant Tukaram plane down to come take Tukaram back. It is not a story. It can be a reality, but you should have the guts, follow that and achieve. Therefore, either you live in an ordinary way or you live in an extraordinary way. It depends upon your decision. It is your practice. You have to broaden your vision. Tread the path which nobody has. Tread the path which Bhagwan wants you. There is a choice. You can be very ordinary. You'll mug your portion, you'll get the best job, you'll have maybe $2-3 billion in your pocket, you may have 2 sons, you may have a lovely house, but somewhere that void will not be if you're not on this path. Therefore, remember, at the end of it, you have to leave everybody. Every husband has to leave the wife, every parent has to leave their child. And in today's world, be careful. When you become old, there will be nobody to take care of you. That time God will take care. But at 70, you can't think of God. You think of God now, 18, 19, 20, 21. Then there is no fear. You are fit. And nothing will bother. Because sealing on desires that we learn as a part of the program is the panacea for all happiness all times. It is not being confused. It is having the determination to do with what is appropriate. That's all. Never more, never less. Whether it's energy, whether it's money, it is thoughts, it is energy. Be balanced. Every Satsang young man and woman is not supposed to become a saint. He's supposed to become a balanced human. Balance in everything. Poise in action is yoga. Many people want to go up and down on their body. They say it's yoga. That's only exercises to keep some part of your body healthy, which is very good and you must do. But the real yoga in life is poise, in happiness and sorrow. In fact, Swami used to always say, being a devotee of mine, the only definition is he who is always at peace, both in happiness and sorrow, or at least tries to be in peace, both in happiness and sorrow. He is the true devotee. He is the one whom I know, write his name in my book. Many people write my name in their books without my permission. But the real story is when I write your name in my book because I'm happy and I exercise. That is the real NLP certificate at the end of the day. That is because that God's signature will not be there. It will be Nimesh Pandya's signature, somebody else's signature on the certificate. So awarded for successful completion of the course. Sir, this has to be also certified by Bhagwan from within your consciousness. That is the success. Okay, otherwise the convocation is only going to be one event. People say, oh, you spoke very well. This man came and spoke very well. This function, gold medal is nice. No. When you go home night after the convocation, what Swami tells you from within your conscience, because that's where you lay bare. Everybody is there. Nobody can hide anything. But the master knows. Well, thank you. Thank you very much. I understand there are a lot of questions. Let me try and take them if I can. If the organizers permit, we'll do that. Thank you and God bless all of you. Have a lovely life ahead.
Thank you so much, Uncle. This was that was a great insight.
Okay.
A little known fact for many of our brothers and sisters here is that Nimesh Uncle used to be a legal counsel for many multinational companies, and the day he became the All India President of the Sathya Sai organization, he resigned all of them only to serve his Lord. That's I mean, if that's not an example of leadership, then I don't know what is, Uncle. I will quickly take some questions that have come to us from some brothers and sisters. So there is a participant who says, there are many samitis that are run by devotees. I'm from Bihar and I see very less or no Sai centers in most places. Is there a plan to build at least one Sai center in each state?
No, I think what she said was to make one Sai center in every state of India. Okay, like we have Sundaram in Tamil Nadu, we have Shivam in Hyderabad, we have Dharmakshatra in Mumbai, we have the International Center in Delhi. Well, I have always encouraged people to do it with love and without getting stressed and without begging money. If you can do it, it's a great thing. Rider like as an organization, to have a center of inspiration in the name of Bhagwan is a very important thing. I would not discount it. But it cannot become the okay. So it has to be a balance. The people in the organization should not make it their goal that my goal is to make one center brick and mortar for Bhagwan. That should be the offshoot of a constant personal sadhana by all the people of that state. Constant personal sadhana will make that temple that center a reality. But if the center comes up without practice, control, who should be there? I gave the money, I was not thanked. You gave the money and you were thanked. So much negativity will come that Bhagwan will never come to reside. Therefore, that creating that institution should be a total act of unity, surrender, sacrifice, and love. It is that center which is the true center. Otherwise, it's the ego issue. So, answer in two parts. Yes, it's a great thing to do, but it must be based on the foundation of spirituality and self-practice and self-transformation of all the people who are involved, who will make it, surrender it, and never claim any ownership. That is the ideal center that I would and I am promoting people. I've seen in my experience, brothers and sisters, people make things and then they fight. There are wars because there is ego. There's no sadhana, no, there's no practice. I did this, I made the plan, I went to the commissioner to get the plan approved. All this nonsense happens. So let's not get into that. But good idea if it is on a proper foundation.
Thank you, Uncle. Another participant says, we often see jealousy in leadership positions. What is your advice to all the participants here to ensure that they do not develop that quality as they go on to become leaders in the organization?
You see, the goal should be correct. I want to tell all my young brothers and sisters, why would you do this leadership? Why would you participate in the Satsang organization? Let your goal be very clear. If your goal is to attain position, if your goal is to attain authority, if your goal is to control other people and enjoy the bliss of control, the egoistic bliss of control, be here. Because then there is a whole amount of ambit of opportunities available outside. Here, the goal of the Satsang organization is to realize inherent divinity and improve yourself. I always say repeatedly, I tell all my colleagues that if you are into this organization to improve somebody else, thank you very much. We don't want you. If you are here to improve yourself, massive opportunities to learn things. For example, a leader. I'm a leader. I'm supposed to be the All India. And imagine if I issue a circular and 10 of my state presidents don't listen to me. What's going to be my reaction is a question which I have to answer for myself. There is one man, one state president. I'm the leader. I will smack him like a fly. I would smack him. That's a normal reaction. But in this case, I'm not of love and unconditional love with which I can disarm that man. And even if I have to take some disciplinary action, that disciplinary action is for the larger good, not out of spite. Tell people's opinion into consider, take them on board and say that this man has to be corrected. The COVID taught us. In COVID, everybody who had COVID had to be quarantined, remember? And reminded, take your medicine, sleep, rest, get back. Otherwise, you'll die. Same is the situation in the human-to-human relationship or in the Sai organization. Suppose somebody in your samiti is not in sync with the object of the summit, that is self-transformation, sharing unconditional love, understanding each other, showing compassion, is not doing this. And he's sick. He's got COVID. Now in COVID, you can't kill him, no? You have to quarantine him. So you tell him, sir, please calm down, stay out for some time. And that disciplinary action the leader will take. He'll request him, sir, please calm down. After some time, once you're a little more comfortable, you can join us. But this time it will not happen. Because that enforcement of discipline also requires a great support of unconditional love. And love doesn't mean you go and hug him and pat him and agree with him. No. In your heart, there is a prayer for this man. That Swami, please help me to talk to this man with love and affection so that my love can disarm. And you will find this in your personal life also. That a good leader is the one who evokes awe and respect for a leader. And that awe and respect comes not out of fear. If it comes out of fear, he's your chamcha. But if it comes out of respect for action, for personality, for character, then you have automatically disarmed that man. He will follow your instructions. Because your instructions are pure. Your instructions are not malicious. Your instructions are not selfish. It is in the selfishness that the problem is. I have decided to do 1,000 bottles of blood in my summit. I am issuing a fatwa. All of us will do it in 2 days or 10 months or 2 months. Now somebody doesn't do. Now it becomes a problem for me. I have to go myself. I made the announcement. I'll force people. Come on, you have to do. The guy says, I can't do. I don't have the benefit. I won't. Why? Because I have shown leadership of lack of cooperation. I have shown leadership where I am an autocrat. Swami was not like that. If you take Swami's example, even when he was God and all powerful, he would consult 5 people that give a plan to me. Now, why does Swami require somebody to give him a plan of a particular project? He can immediately say, okay, do this and get out. No, he needs to give equal importance to all people to participate. And therefore, I think it's very important that in the Satsang Seva organization, come with the correct goal. Don't come with the goal of being upset with somebody or trying to correct some or telling the other guy, I'm better than you or I know better than you. That's all those realms are kept up. Keep your blinkers on your eyes, do your sadhana, participate. On the contrary, I have one more point to make. In the Satsang organization, I welcome every time somebody gets angry and criticized. I'm very happy for the simple reason that every time somebody gives me a gali, the first reaction is, boss, remain calm, remain cool. This is Swami inside him testing you. Why would you lose your peace? Be happy. Action-wise, I will take collective action, but all on the footprint of peace and happiness and love and prayer for that option. Try it. You will grow in your personality so much. I tell you, I've seen so many young men and women leave the organization and go, hey, too much politics. These elders are useless. Elders are crazy. They will never listen to us. I have lost confidence in themselves and gone. But I've seen thousands of young men and women who have grown in their stature, learning the whole tolerance, learning the self-control, learning how not to react badly, learning how not to get affected by other people, and still stick to your goal and continue and reach the goal and achieve it. That's important. So the so-called distraction in the Saya organization really are great opportunity. Though I am a lawyer and a good arbitrator, but I became the best arbitrator after I became the All India President. So many issues that come up from people who are not sadhakas, from people whose goal is not correct. So that's the problem. Therefore, I always insist that in the NLP program, the whole name also was said, Sri Sathya Sai National Leadership Program for Self-Transformation. Now, if the experiment is self-transformation, you have to tolerate everybody around. You don't have to make a commitment to change them, nor you have to say, because this man is bad, I'll go. A stupid chap, you got a golden opportunity. Why would you leave just because somebody else is leaving? Learn to ignore him. In a tug of war, Swami used to always tell us, in a tug of war, you require 2 people. No. When a tug of war, one guy leaves the rope, the other guy fall down. There's no war. You see, don't have tug of war. Surrender, surrender. Pray to Swami. Swami, I have done this. You take care of this. You see, give Swami is one friend who wants to work for you. Let him work. No, why are you so? Imagine having a friend who wants. Imagine Krishna riding the chariot of Arjuna. It's only a picture you see, but I think it's a reality. That God is riding your chariot. Just trust him. No. Why debate with him? When Krishna showed the Vishwa Swarupa, even Arjun became saying, no, Baba, thank you. I will do what you say. I'll kill my very brothers. I'll kill my uncle. But whatever you say, I'll do. Isn't it? So don't place your life and journey of life depending upon other people's reaction and reaction. You stick to your path and go. I must always say, never look at what others think you are. Never do have your own impressions of what you do. Do what you really are and you should do. That commitment will success.
Thank you, Uncle. Uncle, often you and the conveners of the Sathya Sai National Leadership Program keep reminding the participants to work in unison with the state office bearers. But it's often noticed that the state teams do not reciprocate the same kind of cohesiveness with the participants. How can we make that better?
Yeah, I tell you, I think there is a fault on both the sides of this issue. My reading and my understanding is that the youth that participates, again, because of a lack of clear vision as to why they are, want to do things the way they want to do, which is not bad. I have no qualms about that. But the youth must understand that you have to develop the capacity to convince the other person of your point 1. If you develop the capacity and try to convince the other person of your point of view, and then offer it to Bhagwan with the prayer. You may have that the other uncle who is egoistic, yeah, chota bacha hai, kya karega, how can they? I have seen more years in the organization. Or that happens, no? That's the reality. But a persistent approach of consistent request, I have seen elders melt very fast. So the idea is, as a young man, am I supposed to confront my elders? Or am I supposed to slip into their hearts and get what I want? I'll tell you my personal example. At the age 20, 21, 22, I was also as brash as any young man could be. And then imagine, after I came to Swami, as if Swami was not enough, I had a mentor called Indulal Shah, who was the worst person in terms of discipline and curtness and sharpness. Okay? People used to shudder to talk to Indulal Shah. But my approach was very simple. I want to do what he says because I believe that Swami is telling him the what mission. So I should do it very sincerely. In the olden days, when the first charter was drafted, I remember Indubai calling me and telling me, Nimesh, he told me this around 8:39 in the night. Tomorrow morning by noon at 12 o'clock, I want you to give me a rough draft of this charter. Now, for me, a charter was something which I had read in the Constitution. I read in my library, the High Court, whole preamble of the charter and put all the points, and I was ready at his table at 12 o'clock. Now, he threw the paper away on my face. Got that wrong. Now, imagine what should have been my reaction. Having worked the whole night, whole morning, brought out a paper which, according to me, was the best, and I gave it to this man. And he throws it out saying, nonsense. Any other person, and without any allegation, I won't see this old man again in my life. Why should I waste my time? Forget it. I would have said that, no? It would have been perfectly logical. But for me, I was not doing it for Hindubai. I was doing it because I was convinced that my master wants a charter, and I will do it. And for that, I will suffer anything that comes in me. And this is what Hindubai taught. That when you do it for the master, keep that focus. Never worry, never get dislodged by actions, reactions that come from them. Because you don't have to worry about what others. You don't have to worry about what you think you are. You have to worry about what you really are. That's what I meant by focus when I said in the beginning. 3 assets: time, breath, and thoughts. Keep your vision clear, keep your focus. Come to this Sathya Sai organization as a challenge that this is the best platform to me, for me to become a better person, to me to learn tolerance, for me to be able to withstand pressure, and for me to be able to trust God, pray to Him, and experience that every time I am in difficulty, God is with me. If this is the goal, nothing will come in here. But if your goal is to get even with people, your goal is egoistic to convince your point of view the other guy, then it doesn't make sense. No, don't come on, go away. That's all. Leave the elder man. Elder man also will perish in his place, and you'll also go home. There's nothing to come. You come to learn. You come to experience. Don't come to convince each other's point and leave. Very unfortunately, people go away. Young men and women go away by these feelings. But I do believe. But right now, as I talk to you, let me tell you, I'm a very proud All India president. I've seen all my young men and women throughout the length and breadth of this country. They have learned the art of convincing the elders. They have learned the art of tolerating all their idiosyncrasies because they are focused on Swami, not on the leader. They're not focused on me. Even if they respect me, like you said in the video, I respect in arts, it is all because of Swami, nothing else. When I walk outside the realm of the Satsang organization, or the domain of Satsang organization, when I walk in the street, nobody knows me. Who knows Nimesh Pandya, All India President? If I walk in Chandni Chowk or walk, it's a reality. You must accept the situation, not all, all the time. But what I am is, whomever I meet in Chandni Chowk, whomever I meet in Hyderabad Bazaar, Meena Bazaar, whoever meets me will always feel happy by meeting me. That's my success. That's my leadership quality. So follow that and live life, and don't worry. Never leave the path of Satsang organization. It is the only platform that will make you a master.
Thank you, Uncle. Uncle, there's a request from a participant who says that the rules of the organization that are laid down by the organization should be followed as much as possible. For example, we say that the youth coordinators must be between the ages of 18 to 35, but we often find many coordinators beyond that age. Similarly, the tenures are said to be 3 years, but are often not followed. How can we make that
Yeah,
better?
then, no, we have to reconcile this. I fully agree with this observation. But what happens, I've seen in my administrative setup, let's suppose there's a district and there's a district youth coordinator. What has happened is that youth coordinator, all the district presidents have never created the second line of succession. You see, today if I'm the All India president, I must have 4 people ready. No, suppose tomorrow something happens to me and I can't function. I must have 4 people who are ready to take over. In many cases, when I see that the age has come to 40 and I should change him, I ask the state president, or sometimes I ask that very man, Baba, have you created your next in line? Who's the person whom we can add over? There is nobody there. So what if by default I have to put a square peg in a round hole and sort of, accept that situation in the hope and prayer to Swami that Swami will. But I tell you, every time the district president, state president, or the All India has prayed to Swami, a new great young man or woman comes up and takes charge. But you are absolutely right. I must agree with the person who raised this question that age discipline must be strictly followed. And I tell you, one of the biggest problems that we faced by not following this law was that before I became the All India president, there were so many leaders in various levels who were there for 20 years and 30 years. I had a great problem because they all got stuck with 5 fall on their seats. I had to pull them out. And with them, the chair came out, they closed it on, and they were wars, they're cursing me, they're doing black magic on me, just because I removed them after 20, 30 years. When the rule book says they should have left on 5 years' time on their own, or they should have created a success. Therefore, I've even told all my state youth coordinators, forget the old of us, we'll all pass out. But you, in your duties as a state youth coordinator, as a district, please look for more talent, motivate more people, so that more people can join in and do that. I was just talking to Lakshmikant the other day, and I was telling Gopi also that now we're going to create this leadership program in so many languages. We need more people. We were very happy that we have more and more faculty members are joining us, more and more. Now imagine more and more people are joining the team of administration of this program. Gopi keeps on telling me, Nimesh, I've got a good team. Ashish tells me, yes, Lakshmikant tells me I'm good. I'm very happy to hear this because it's a duty of every leader to create the next tranche of 2 leaders before he can go. In fact, moment I became the All India president, I have created 2, 3 people, identified them to take over. That's my first job. Not that I don't want anybody to come because I want to be permanently All India president. It doesn't work like that. So our problem of the question that has been raised is that we have never created the second line. Therefore, and I'm doing my best. All my state presidents have joined me. They're looking for new people to take up posts in here. I imagine today in the country, I have so many young alumni who are members of state trusts. I have so many young alumni who are state presidents, vice presidents. That change is happening.
Thank you, Uncle. At times, information
Yes.
about events seem to be shared very selectively.
In the list of questions, there was
The next question is, at times,
very
information about
important
events.
question. I don't know whether you raised that or not. When I had the chance to look at some of them, there was a question. Yeah. India is the, yes, doesn't percolate down. Yeah, sister, that's correct. We are very poor in communication.
Yeah.
There's
So
so poor in
oftentimes
communication
it's not really,
that
yes, it's
if
not,
once
it's shared
I
very
communicate
selectively,
to
and
my
many of them
state
have also
president and to the
experienced
zone presidents, and
biasness
by the
during
time it
selection.
goes down to the district and committee convener, it may be 5 years gap between my first message and the information going down the line. But that is improving now.
We also feel that there is this biases that they felt during the selection for performing art events. So,
I will ensure that you don't get to know. No, see, I tell you, listen. See, after all, these are all human frailty. Yeah, I know. That is inherent. That is going to be inherent. You see, these aberrations will be created by Bhagavan. As I told you, these are challenges. Okay? We have to meet this challenge. We cannot run away from this challenge. We cannot decry this challenge. Okay? If you didn't get communication, I think very nicely you should raise the point. Sir, I didn't get this communication. Had I known, I would have done it. Please ensure that next time I get it. This is from your end, from your perspective. At my end, I am trying my best to ensure that the systems of communication do very well. Okay? Because we are a very large country. The states that we run and some states are very good. There, the communication will not be a problem. Their personal prejudice will be a problem. But in some states, the personal prejudice is not a problem. Communication per se is a problem. For example, Assam. Now, to communicate to all the devotees in Assam is a big challenge. Somebody is in the hills, somebody is in the valley. It takes 24 hours within Assam to go from one place to another place. There is no connectivity. Sometimes the phones don't work. All these challenges. These are realistic, practical challenges. Then there are challenges of personal prejudice. Then there are challenges of laziness amongst the rank of office bearers. Therefore, I am conscious of this. This should not happen. And I do pray to Swami that he helps me as in my role as an alternate to bridge this gap of communication. I'm very, very keen. Gopi knows about it. All my colleagues know about it. We're trying to do our best with Sai Connect. We're trying to do our best with what. Now, for example, for the entire youth office bearers of the country, we have the Sai Connect where I'm urging them to connect. And I've also started groups. I've worked with Brijesh. We started a WhatsApp group with all the state youth coordinators, ladies and gents, district youth coordinators. So that, and I on Guru Purnima Day, I don't know, many of you may be part of the WhatsApp group. I sent a first video wishing everybody on Guru Purnima to launch this. So that person, take your group, talk to people. If you go, just tell you that the rule book of the Satsang organization is not a rule book made by A, B, or C. These are the various discourses. Bhagavan has repeatedly said that discipline must be followed. Follow the rules, because following the rules makes all of us into a very, very united and a positive group of people. Okay, who learn discipline. Like the army, like the navy. Whether you like it or not, rules are rules. You have to follow. That's period. For example, men and women can't mix. Illogical in modern time, debatable. But we don't debate. Swami says work separately, work separately. Say separately, say separately. Many people argue with me. Okay, but I say, look, there is a distinction. Swami said both work separately and work. But Swami didn't say that only men should work and women should not work. Swami did not say that only men should take responsibility, women should not take responsibility. But be independent, do the job. What is your skill set, you do. What is your skill set, you do. Ultimately, everybody must have equal opportunity to practice seva. It is not equal opportunity for power. It is equal opportunity to practice seva, where men and women are equal. And no, on the contrary, I would say that my experience in the Sai organization is that women are more powerful than men. And I've seen that by practice. So I think we will follow rules, we will improve our communication, and we'll do the needful that is.
sure. Thank you, Uncle. Uncle, there is a question very related to what you just ended with. Why are the Mahila leaders only limited to specific wings? So, Uncle, you had shared a few years back that Mahilas are not appointed as EIPs or state presidents to protect them from the cruelty that can sometimes be faced by such leaders. But since then, don't we have a lot of women in corporate giants? We have women in corporate giants, even as the president of India. Isn't it time that we, as our organization, also?
I agree. So I'll tell you. And this is not my personal view. I'm only repeating what Swami has said. Okay, this is not my personal view, and I never debate what Swami says. Analyze the situation in the Sai organization. Give me one instance where everything that men do, women are not doing. Okay, let's say that women are not doing. For example, in all the three wings of the organization, in every activity, There is a Samiti Mahila coordinator, there is district Mahila coordinator, there is a state Mahila. Even the youth wing, there is a state Mahila youth coordinator, there is a state child youth. So if you see the entire rung of the structure, all the Mahilas and gents have been given equal posts at every rung of this. Okay? No discrimination there any. Because the education coordinator, the service coordinator, the spiritual coordinator is in charge of exactly the same activity in the three wings as the corresponding man is. The only difference comes when it comes to state president or All India president or the Samiti convener. The reason I have asked Bhagwan this, Bhagwan is very, very orthodox. Till today, Bhagwan does not like big girls and big boys coming together in a drama, big girls dancing in front of the crowd, big girls performing. Now, these are all modern day realities. I agree with you. But it is the traditional part which Bhagwan said that the dignity of women should be retained and we should not expose her to the vagrancies or the distortions of the human mind of men who interact with women. His thought is very noble. His thought is not distinct. In today's world, with every one Draupadi Murmu, which you are giving me an example of being the president, or 5,000 women CEOs, or 5,000 entrepreneurs, there is a whole world of women who are still being prejudiced and suffering. What we come to know in the news is not even 1/10 of the suffering and the misery that women go through in the world. And that's not only in India. Take the United States, take the UK, take any of the developed countries. The situation is not different there. Therefore, in the larger interest of giving men and women the mutual sense of respect, Swami said, don't, under the banner of the organization, don't let women start interacting with everybody. Let them do their work. There's no problem. See, suppose you take the village work. Men and women go to the village together, no? They do seva, they do bhajan, they do bal vikas. Even men do bal vikas, women do bal vikas. Men do bhajan, women do bhajan. Men do sadhana, women do sadhana. In the village, men will go and do the physical labor. Women will go and sit with the women, do mother and child care. See, the opportunity to serve is equal. This issue is being raised, according to me, as an ego sense of authority. Now, that's not what Bhagwan wants to do. Bhagwan says, focus your mind in realizing what I am within you. Whether it's a woman or a man, doesn't make a difference. Okay. Now, that is the goal. So in that goal, we are trying to bring in a social or a democratic or a politically issue. Why women are not giving authority? Are Baba, what do you want, authority or responsibility? Let's distinguish between these two things. Responsibility, if somebody stops, I am the first person to oppose. Because women are more capable than men in discharging work, discharging assignment or achieving the best. There cannot be distribution there. But in the Sai organization, because of giving deference to Swami's view, the authority section, which is really not authority, In fact, I've been constantly telling my office there that don't think that the All India President is a post of authority, it's a facility. Don't think that the state president is authority, it's a facility. Some district president, Samiti, in charges, state youth leaders. I want the state youth leaders to understand that you are facilitators. You are the mentors of the young men in the state. Therefore, let's bracket this authority against opportunity. I would address the issue that if there is a lack of opportunity, yes, we have to address it immediately. But if it's an issue of authority, then I think it can be left for academic discussion only. Really speaking, because I may have different views, like the LGBT community now. Okay, may have different, but Swami would never encourage, no. And I am Swami's student, I will follow my master, no. Therefore, I don't want to get into a debate that, because in fact, in the recent youth conference of the overseas young adults, they asked this question: is the LGBT member permitted to join the organization? And I spontaneously said yes, because his being LGBT or not is not an issue with the Sai organization. With the Sai organization, the issue is he or it or she coming with an objective of self-improvement? If that objective is clear with that person, it hardly makes a difference who or he or she or it. So that's my take on this issue.
Sir, on a lighter note, I would also like to say that the entire organizing team is dominated by women here.
Yes.
Yes.
And
Thank you, Uncle. Uncle,
in
there's a
your entire,
question.
and I tell you, with due deference to all the women, or my sister, with due deference to all the sisters of my organization, aunties, everybody, please understand, I've always truthfully and honestly acknowledged that the Satsang organization is continuing only because of the effort of women and the responsibilities that they take. Okay, it is the women who excel more. You see my award which I give in the Bhavanthu Foundation. There are more women who take the award than men. Why? It's an opportunity given, exercised, and recognized and acknowledged. So why get into this minor debate about it? Okay, go ahead.
Sure. Thank you, Uncle. Uncle, the question says, while a majority of us have seen Swami in physical form, and currently, we're in the era of digitization and Swami's HD photos and everything available. But we see in the very recent past that there is a lot of precedence given to installing Swami's idol in every center. Is there an instruction from Swami on this, or why is it given more precedence now?
Swami never said to put a statue. Whoever says that is a liar. Swami always said, please endorse me in your heart. I want to be in your heart. That's where I am, and that's my real residence. Now, having said so, and having believed and accepted this message, Swami never said, put my statue. In fact, you all know, when somebody brought the statue in Puttaparthi for Swami during his lifetime, he put that statue away in the Chaitanya Museum. Okay, only recently it has been brought out after his Mahasamadhi and put in the mandir. Because after the Mahasamadhi, you see, you must find that human beings are at a different level of evolution and sadhana. To get to know the experience of Swami within, you need external support. Every time I miss Swami within and I can't feel him, I have to go to him. I go to Prashant with him, touch the Samadhi, pray to him, then I carry him with me. So it's a recharging of battery. Therefore, for that generation of people who have not seen Swami and who are still not mature enough spiritually to go within themselves and recognize the power within, this is a source of inspiration. This is not the goal. It is not Swami. The photo is not Swami. The statue is not Swami. It is an inspiration and a goal where by looking at that, you carry the image in your heart when you go. But what is happening is that our people make mandirs and statues and think that the statue is God, which is half the truth. Okay. So we have to, as an organization, we have to not go against statues. Swami never said, but if there is a statue, we must guide the people that this is a source of inspiration. I've said this a million times whenever I had an opportunity, that mandir, gurdwara, statue, photograph are all centers of inspiration. They are a means on your journey to recognize God. Now, if this understanding is not clear with people, then we have to help them. We have to encourage them to understand this.
Sure. Thank you so much, Uncle. In the interest of time, we will collate the rest of the questions and send them to you, Uncle, and we'd love to have them answered for our participants.
No, but there is one question. There is one question I have to answer, which I know is there. Somebody asked,
okay.
You and Auntie are professional lawyers. How do you behave at home? Okay, that was one question. Is it
yes.
That's, I think somebody will ask that question.
Yes, Uncle, that's right.
Okay, we learned the hard way. We practiced a lot. We stayed together for 44 years. We've really enjoyed each other's company and learned a lot from the Divine Lotus together. When I got married to Kamala and we did the Aarti in the Thali in the interview room with Swami, there were two pieces of camphor which were separate. And when we lit it, both of them got lit separately. And what Swami did, like a carom board, like you flick a coin on a carom board, two lighted camphor pieces, Swami clicked like this, and both of them came together and merged together. And Swami said, Dekho, shadi se pehle do, abhi ek. And now this became a goal. It's not easy to achieve it. But my wife is a gold medalist. She's very intelligent. She has her own mind. And I'm also with my own mind. But the commitment that both of us want to make Swami happy is what we have. We learn tolerance, we learn compassion, we learn sacrifice, we learn the value of each other. because we could see Swami as a guiding factor in mental. Therefore, for all young men and women who want to marry or who are already married, please understand, Swami is to give one advice to all people who want to get married or are married. Pehle understand karo, fir adjust. And remember, every husband has to see God in the wife. Every wife has to see God. And every time you forget, remind yourself again. You are safe.
Thank you so
Thank you.
much
Thank
for
you
that
very much.
answer.
God bless all of you.
Uh, I would now like to invite Professor Yogendra Verma sir to speak a few words and propose the vote of thanks.
Om Sairam.
Verma sir?
My salutations at the lotus feet of Bhagavan Shri Baba. After listening to erudite speaker like our respected All India President Shri Nimesh Pandya, even proposing a vote of thanks becomes very difficult. As usual, as you must have experienced, every time when he speaks from the heart, and he always touches the heart. He shakes the mind, and I think that's very important for mastering the mind. And today, the message which I got, very clear message, that we are only actors. There is a prompter, there is a director to whom we have to please. And how we can please God? Well, he shared a very wonderful, at the intellectual level also, that well, you have got three assets. You have got thoughts, you have got time, you have breath. How we manage our time, how we manage our thoughts and our breaths. And these are the real assets of life, which can give us a balance of the worldly life and the spiritual life. And one very, very good message which I take home from this scintillating and very scholarly and spiritually enlightened message, when he said that let us invest these assets in the mutual fund, and that mutual fund is organization. Organization is the body given by Swami to us to practice what he taught us. So, because being a state president also and being a convener, many questions when you were asking, I was having a mixed thoughts going on. But the answer is simple, and he very clearly conveyed to us, and that is so this is not a question of having a position, but opportunity. My experience, and we continue to discuss, particularly Dr. Gopi, that you see, still we, as young women and men, we have to internalize happiness and success is not outside. It is within us. God is not bahya priya. वो कहते हैं कि अंदर ही है सब कुछ, and I'm there. You are unnecessarily worrying. Actually, worries are created by ourselves. God is beyond that. Sir, I remember in your one speech, you narrated the story of Narayana and Lakshmi. Well, Lakshmi is always doing path seva. But in, unnoticed, Narayana will get up and start running. And she asks, Bhagwan, why you are always in a hurry, and unexpectedly you'll get up and start running. He said, whenever my devotee calls me, I have to go. So meanwhile, again another call came, and Narayana got up and started running. After about 100 meters or 200 meters, he came back. She said, you just came back. Have you attended your devotee? He said, actually, he called from the heart. He was in a trouble. He was being slaughtered. So he was in trouble. So he called me. I ran. But then, he didn't believe. He didn't have that faith. So he started himself fighting. So when he started himself fighting, no, where is my role? I have come back. So actually, my dear young girls and boys, have that faith. Swami at one place said, your shwas, that breath may stop, but your vishwas should never be unwavering. There should be unwavering. Never. It should be unshakable. So if we carry with that faith that Swami is there, then whether it is organization or it is our daily life. In the organization also, let me tell you, you will get opportunities. But you please ask, many of you, please ask your heart. Because I myself find that you see, NLP students, many of you, see, we do have this complaint. But when it comes to opportunity, there's number of opportunities available. It is not only that you have to become a office bearer, but it is an opportunity for seva. So anywhere, anytime, and I find some of NLP students in my state that they snatch the opportunity, and we feel very happy. All elders need youngsters. So today's session was really insightful, as usual. And he said, rightly said, actually today we should not sleep. We should ponder over. This is what leadership is. So all other thoughts or ideas which are coming to you, they are coming not from the worldly books. They are coming directly, raising many questions which the doubts you have in mind. And particularly we are thankful to our All India President Nimesh Pandya ji, who is really, now I don't have words. The response which I was seeing, the participants, how much the message, how deep message they are carrying with them is really wonderful. I am also grateful to our NLP leader, Dr. Gopi, who is so good and identifying such a wonderful team. Actually, I find that this program is run by you. So now it means the ball has set rolling. That means in the coming years, in the time to come, this organization will definitely be youthful. So with words, thanks Swami for such a good session. Thank you very much, sir, for sparing, which is very precious. But our participants, definitely, they have been benefited. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Professor Verma. And thank you, Gopi Uncle, for organizing this session with VIP, sir.
Professor Verma.
And thank you so much, Nimesh Uncle. Despite your health not being so good, you sat through the session with all of us, spoke so much to our participants. Thank you so much. And a very big thank you to the IT team for making all of this possible. And a very big thanks to the participants for staying through the session. Over to the IT team to play the Shanti Mantram, and we'll close. Thank you so much. Sairam.
Samastha Lokah Sukhino Bhavanthu. Samastha Lokah Sukhino Bhavanthu. Samastha Lokah Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti. श्री सत्य साई बाबा जी की